Hello, I'm Martin.Fencka and welcome to another of my Path of Exile videos. Today I'll be talking about the build I've been using in the 5-week Darkshrine event. I've taken this build all the way to level 100 and get to rank 9, and quite a few people asked me about some specifics about the build to show a gear and the skill tree. So rather than linking these things individually to everyone, I've decided to record this guide and I'll briefly talk about all of these things. So the build we'll be talking about is dual flame totem crit blood magic witch. We can go straight to the skill tree. Maybe before I start talking about the skill tree, I should say that this is not my build, not my idea. When I was thinking about what to play in the Darkshrine event, uh, and decided that I want to try totems because this was the first time I've been playing totems. Uh, I checked forums, some threads about flame totems. I kind of like this or similar build, so I started with a guide that I'll link in the description of the video. And once I became more familiar with the build, I made some changes, but the build is still very similar, so I'll just briefly go through the skill tree. You will have the link in the description if you want to check it in more detail again. And what you can't see in the guide is the gear that I've been using basically all the way to level 100. I got my gear like in first 10 days of the league, and then I just didn't change anything because really during the 5 week there wasn't that many things available. So back to the skill tree. Starting as a witch. When I started, went up for elemental domination, then grabbed shamanistic fury, went all the way through elementalist, uh, devotion to ancestral bond, then went down to blood magic and ironwood. After that, I went up this way through this intelligence node for shaman's dominion, and then to the shadow area, grab all these crit nodes, projectile damage live into trickery. And once I was done with that, I just returned and grabbed all the jewel nodes along the way, all the life that was worth investing into Light of Divinity. But for the leveling, I haven't been using this crit cluster and also the Doomcast cluster and Throat Seeker. Instead, I focused more on survivability, so I've been leveling all the way to 100 with MOM and Eldritch Battery, and also I had this cluster. It's actually better than I expected. The combination of life and energy shield together with the MOM and EB, it's a really nice buffer, and it saved me quite a few times. So for leveling, as long as you do care about the experience, I strongly recommend sacrifice a bit of damage for more survivability. What else? I think that's all. And yes, of course, I still had a few points left. So here are some notes that you can take as long as you don't go the full crit or the full damage, I should say. Here you can get 5% life, 5% is here. Here is some light with resist if you need that. Here is a bit of armor, though I don't like this node. Also, I had the whole Purity of Flesh cluster. So that was the leveling build, and once I got to level 100 and didn't care about dying anymore, wanted to just speed things up as much as possible, I spec'd off some of these life nodes and went for Doomcast, Throat Seeker, and Arcane Potency. So this is the build now for Talisman League. There will be some changes. This left side will stay the same, but on the other side, the duelist starting area will be reworked. So there won't be that many nodes to grab. It'll be the same to gold heritage calculation, I think. I'm not sure if the node has the same name, but it has the same place. Then instead of going down, there are grid nodes. They'll be here instead of this big elemental node. So there are 3 grid nodes, and from that again go down through Blood Siphon. Still should have the same name, down to coordination, because the 20 dexterity from coordination is very important. This build overall has problems with dexterity. It needs one really important green gem, so you have to get the dexterity somewhere, and there really are not that many options. So you need every node that does something except giving you the dexterity. Here the cast speed is pretty useful. 20 dexterity is huge. Here you can get 10, and basically the rest you get from gear, and that's not always the easiest thing to get. So this is the build, and now we can get to the gear. There is still a lot to improve. As I said, this is basically what I get within the first 10 days of the league. And I could push the DPS quite a bit higher. Currently on bar it's like 68k, but I'm using a shield. There is an option to go with 2 wands. I tried that for Ibratsir, but still wasn't enough for the kill. For now, I would say it's a big problem, and it's not reliable Ibratsir build unless you have +1 Infernal Mantle. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. I really wanted to only show the gear and talk a bit about the gems. So I'll start with the uniques that are essential for the build. I'll start with the helmet. 3 dragons, maybe a bit unexpected, but it's a pretty good helmet for this build. You get a lot of resists, and the shock stack you get from your fire damage is huge. And not just that, I'm using added lightning for the freeze effect, and because the survivability of this build is not that great, you don't have like too much armor, you don't have evasion, you don't have any other means. You just have to, rely on your skills to avoid stuff, and properly position your totems to just take those hits for you. The freeze you can get thanks to the 3 dragons is actually a pretty good secondary survival or or skill, or how to say it, that helps you with the survival. So for this build, definitely a good choice, and I think without it it'll be significantly harder to play on higher levels, especially in some higher tier maps. So that's one thing. Second thing, Maligaros, crit chance, crit multiplier for a crit build, amazing. But also important is you get dexterity from this. That's another thing. For Maligaros, you need a really good roll, high crit multi and high dexterity, so not the cheapest gloves, but it's definitely worth it. So that's the second must-have unique, and the third one, it's Infernal Mantle. I tried to corrupt my 6-link Infernal Mantles to get +1 to gems. Didn't get it. The best one I got was this corruption, but it's still nothing amazing. But even without the +1 to gems, like it's a must-have. The +1 to fire gems, it's a huge boost on flame totems. You get the crit chance. Since you are blood magic, you don't have any disadvantages from using the mantle. Of course, you want to have as high roll as possible. The ES is useful. That's a one variable roll, and the fire damage is the second one. And again, the more the better. I recommend getting this as soon as possible as a 5 link. I killed normal Atzeri on a 4 link, but I felt that I lack some damage, so try to get a 5 link as soon as possible. Once you have that, normal Atzeri is really a joke, and you can farm it really effectively and fast without any problems. So these were uniques. Other than that, another unique I have is a Wrath Pit. I got this on day 1 in Darkshrine. Got incredibly lucky. So I've been using that all the way. Maybe it's not the best choice, but I didn't get anything better. As long as you want to use shield, it's pretty good. In standard, I probably replace this with some well-rolled yellow shield with like 400 plus energy shield spell damage. Lots of reses that would allow me to change some other items, but yeah, Wrath Pit pretty good if you can't get it in like new leagues. Yellow shield with high ES resistances, spell damage, all these rolls are good. Block chance perfect. Stuff like that. Okay, so those were uniques, and now to the rest of the gear, just rares. So I started with the weapon. I'm using wand, been thinking about dagger, but I never had any problems using wand, so I stick to this one. I found it's really good, and I'd have problems buying a better dagger. So, yeah, as I said, I stick to this one. What I want in dagger is spell damage, cast speed, uh, crit chance for spells, crit chance, crit multi, some flat spell damage roll, stuff like that. I'd prioritize cast speed and crit chance probably with crit multi, something like that. This is an example of really good wand for this build, so if you can get something similar early, you are fine for a long time. So that's a weapon. What else? Let's go to belt. Nothing crazy there, just a rare belt. As much life as possible. Strength helps because it's more life, and resistances as much as you can get. I've been using this because it's really a lot of life. I crafted this, got lucky with Regal. I regal the strength on this and just crafted lightning because yeah, that's what I needed. Of course, if you can get something like this by the tri-res, it's perfect. And movement speed, if you can craft, it'll be like ideal. And jewelry, 2 diamond rings, get that as soon as possible with as much life as possible, and cast speed. And if you can get open suffix to craft crit chance, it's even better. These rings are definitely not ideal. This one doesn't have the open suffix for crit chance. Has a useless mana. The life regeneration doesn't have to be there. So there's definitely room for upgrades, but again, I never really felt like I need to swap them. Maybe the lack of resistances on this one was a problem. If you can get dexterity on your jewelry, it's perfect, but I think it's better to get it on amulet than on rings. So amulet, that's the last piece here. Ideal would be to have jade amulet, but I got this roll on the lapis amulet, and there was basically no way I'd get something better in the 5 week, or at least for a price that I was willing to pay. I think I found one that was better, but the price was absolutely insane. I bought this for 1 exalt without the crafted crit chance and without the 19% ES. Crit chance is mastercrafted, and Iolo exalted it, got lucky with the 19% ES. It's pretty good. You get the crit chance, crit multi, spell damage. Ideal would be to get the cast speed on this, then you want life, resist, uh, even more dexterity if you can to get that as a suffix. Though I'm not sure if there would be a suffix open, but yeah, if like you don't get the resist, instead you get dexterity, you can get the resist somewhere else. So these are roles that you are looking for, and as I said, the ideal base for your amulet would be a Jade amulet to get as much dexterity as the implicit as possible. So that's the gear, flasks, surgeons, uh, and then as the suffix, whatever you need. Bleeding. Here I'm using bubbling of heat. I I don't know. I just probably never bothered to reroll this one into surgeons. Uh, might be better, but yeah, never really felt the need to reroll. Here I have Surgeons of Warding. I've been using Rumis during leveling. Later I sometimes swap that for Atzeri Promise with the max elemental roll. Uh, the the leech from this applies to your totems, so sometimes when your totems are dying a bit too fast, this can help. And the last one, Surgeons of Adrenaline, to speed things up. You can swap this if you like don't mind that maps will take faster for whatever you feel necessary. I have some other flasks here that I sometimes used like for Atzere early, or when I was trying Ibra Atzere. So these are other options that I used from time to time. So that's the second thing I wanted to talk about, and the last thing I'll go through the links. There is nothing like really unusual. The main 6 link. There is the offensive strength, flame totem, supported it with added lightning, so we can freeze thanks to the 3 dragons. Then faster projectiles for the increased AoE. This is the gem why that forces us into the dexterity. Without that, the projectiles are really quite short, and it's a huge difference. It's one of the first support gems you should really get for flame totems. It speeds things up a lot. So the more dexterity you can get, the higher level you get on the faster projectiles, the better. So that's that. Faster casting, fire penetration, all these things are quite obvious. And then I'm using level 4 Empower, but this is not necessary. I really start using level 4 Empower only, like, or Empower, not level 4, just in general Empower. Um, After you get level 21 Flame Totem, and after you get level 4 Empower. Before that, uh, you will be better with added chaos damage as the last gem. The damage is with level 21 Flame Totem and level 3 Empower, the damage is the same as with level 21 Flame Totem and level 20 Added Chaos, or maybe even level 21 Added Chaos. So really not worth it until you have both level 21 and level 4. And if you get lucky and manage to get +1 to gems, then obviously Empower becomes much better than the Added Chaos. So that's the main link. Then to support this, I'm using Assassin's Mark as a support with increased AoE and faster casting. That's on want, and the 2 remaining links that I'm like fully or using as the whole thing. It's Chaos Golem supported with minion res and minion life and fortify. It's possible to go with the flame golem, but I preferred the increased survivability that I got from the Chaos Golem. And I never really felt the need for more damage on maps, so I just keep using the Chaos Golem. And here for even more survivability, cast when damage taken with Immortal Core, increased duration, and summon skeletons. Summon skeletons is pretty good. Oh, by the way, the cast when damage taken setup is on level 1. But what I wanted to say, summon skeletons adds really good for the build because you already are providing like more than one target for mobs. You have your 2 totems, you have the golem, and then when you start spawning skeletons, it can save my life quite a few times because just monsters started attacking all the stuff that I have around me and ignored me, that gave me time to run away and heal up. So I recommend running this whole setup. It is really good. And the remaining 2 items, here I have Flame Dash with faster casting. The third gem, I just have a Flame Totem here so to level up another gem. I've leveled like maybe 15 Flame Totems to level 20 during the 5-week event. Took me a while to get level 21, so this is just a remnant of that. Just leveling another totem because there is really nothing else to use here. Maybe, I don't know, if you want to just get the green socket and use enhance, but really not necessary. And in the helmet, the 2 gems that I'm using is Val Haste, supported by increased duration, and the remaining 2 portal, because I'm lazy to use scrolls, and the last socket just incinerate because level 21 incinerate went for quite a few exiles, so I've been just using this socket to get more gems to level 21 for trading. And one thing, never forget to use your F of hands 2 Hakus. Actually, I have only 1 Hakus Scepter, really? Ah. Oh, I should probably change the gems, because I bet I have Enlighten in this one. Actually, I have 2 Enlightens here. Well, what I wanted to say is use the secondary weapon set to level more gems, so not wasting experience. It's pretty significant booster economy. Always when you get 20 gems from this corrupted, I usually hit at least one level 21. And that's some extra exile, so yeah, don't forget this. And don't be stupid and use stuff like empower, enlighten, and enhance in the proper scepter, not like me right here, because of course without the extra quality it's leveling slower. So this is all, I think. The overall impression of this from this build, it's quite easy to level, or it's really easy to level actually. It's fast to level. The transition to maps, you actually don't notice or won't notice the difference between just leveling and getting to maps. Just another zone, and there are really no problems. I basically made just one short like break in the leveling when I did a few dried lake runs to get 2 extra levels for flame totem before I got into maps to boost the damage a bit. And other than that, I've just been running the highest level maps I had available for me, because I really never had problems with the damage, and that was for quite a while on only 5 link. With the 5 link, I think I got to like tier 12 maps or something like that, and it wasn't like super fast, but it was more than enough. So that's easy gearing up. There is nothing super expensive. 3 dragons early in the league you can still get for like 15c maybe. Maligaris, that's like 1.5x. That can be a problem. I always buy unlinked Infernal Mantle for like 20 chaos, then adjust the socket and 5 link it myself. so that's not that super expensive. If you don't get rat pit, which you probably want early, just use a yellow shield, so you don't need anything super expensive there, and maybe save some currency for a weapon that can be or should be a good investment. Again, jewelry. Until you save up some money, you'll be fine with any any type. You don't have to get the diamond ring immediately. And once you save up some currency, go for the diamond rings. And yeah, this is like basically self-found, maybe except those rings, or self-crafted. Easy level 100. I didn't die between 90 and 100, except like a few attempts for Ibratsiri. So never had any problems with this, and I actually really enjoyed all the way to 100, and it was pretty easy. Maybe one more thing I should say, Flame Totem is getting slightly changed for the talisman. For leveling it won't be as strong because the nerf for low level Flame Totem is actually quite significant, but above level 21 it's getting buffed. Currently I'm running level 26 Flame Totem and it's already pretty insane. So if this gets buffed, the damage will be absolutely ridiculous. So I think and I hope that this will become Eber viable uh, even without the +1 Inferno Mantle thanks to the buff. It's already pretty close, so it doesn't need that much. And once this build just breaks the threshold where you can get through Atsuri's split phase uh, before before it basically forces you to run around too much. You just burn one of the 4 copies before it destroys like your first 2 set of totems. Then this will be like really fast and really reliable Atsuri farming build. Okay, I don't think there is more to say. As I said, I'll link the forum thread with the detailed guide in the description if you want to know more. And maybe you're gonna try this build in the Talisman League. I will recommend it. Easy, fast, easy to gear up, cheap to gear up, and yeah, fun to play. So if you want, try it, and I hope you join me again for another video. Until then, have a good time. Bye bye.